class.
Good evening.
We're coming down to the end of our session, and I want to talk about what we have learned so far about how negative or poor family bonds cause negative behaviors, and how we can use the self-determination theory to change those behaviors. So we're going to start off talking about definitions. The definitions of self-determination and self-determination theory. In your own words, tell me what you define as self-determination.
The ability to make choices and exert control over your own life.
All right.
Being set to do something.
Okay.
Having your own mindset.
That's right. Okay, what about self-determination theory? That's a motivational concept. And what is the purpose of that motivational concept?
Self-determination theory is a framework cons, con, cons,
conceptualizing, conceptualizing.
thank you,
Okay.
classmate.
Okay. It's a motivational concept. It's basically helping us to find that motivation within ourselves to help us change on our own without those outside influence or without people pushing us to do it, and to take responsibility for the choices that we make. Okay, let's talk about the importance um, of having self-determination. Why is it important for us to have that self-determination?
So it play a significant role in psychological health and well-being.
That's right. That's right. What else?
Allow people to feel that they have control over their choices in life.
That's right. Have control over your own life without feeling like what's going on around you is causing you to behave a certain way. We have to change the way we respond to stress, change the way we respond to negative behaviors, because responding to negative behaviors with negative behavior only causes a clash. Okay, so it's important for us to take responsibility for the choice that we make, number one. And it's important that we realize the choices that we make, how they impact us and how they impact the people around us, how they impact our lives, and how they can benefit our lives and how they can hinder our lives. Okay?
Okay.
So let's talk about personal experiences. Tell me about some of the personal experiences you've had with self-determination. Whether it's that you weren't self-determined, which means that you didn't take responsibility for the choices that you made and you blamed it on other people, or you were self-determined and you didn't allow outside influences to change the choice that you had made for yourself, your life.
I was determined to go back to school.
That's right.
So,
That's a good one. And what was your motivation behind going back to school?
a better job.
A better job. Okay. What else?
Having my son determined to get him safe, and make sure both of us in the perfect him.
That's good. Okay. Anybody else?
I was determined to stop cheating on my spouse.
You determined to stop cheating on your spouse. That's a good. That's a good answer. So, what motivated you to stop that bad behavior? How did you realize that it was bad behavior, and what motivated you to change that bad behavior into a good behavior?
Going to jail, having to sit down and really think about some of the stuff I did and said.
So, that jail experience that helped you, that motivated you to change.
Hmm.
Okay, so that was sort of like an outside influence
Right.
that helped you to make the decision to change. What on the inside of you, something that made you, that benefits you?
Peace of mind.
Peace of mind. And that's exactly right, because when you're cheating, you are lying,
Hmm.
you're trying to cover up stuff, and I'm sure it's confusing, distracting, and it causes chaos in your in your own spirit. And there's nothing like peace. And having self-determination, it gives you peace because you are at peace with the decision that you made because you made it for yourself. And you don't have to worry about how people feel about it, what they think about it. Okay? So we're moving on. Let's talk about some of the family dynamics that cause poor family bonds. Let's talk about that.
Too many people in the household.
Too many people in the household. How can that be a negative dynamic for family bonding?
And so many people can't focus on the one child. If it's a lot of kids, you can't focus on one child that needs your attention the most at that time because you're so worried about all of the other kids and what they need. Maybe some kids' problems may be bigger than the others. You can't really focus on it. You have to worry about other stuff in the house.
Okay, that's good. That all of that plays into how children behave because if one child feels like they're not getting enough attention, they will misbehave to get that attention. And then if you have this child that's getting all of the attention, once you start taking attention away from them, they may misbehave to regain your attention. Okay, what are some other negative family dynamics?
Negative energy.
Negative energy.
Household.
Negative energy in the household. So tell me what negative energy in the household. Explain that.
Oh,
Give an example.
A lot of arguing.
yeah, a lot of arguing.
Physical altercation.
Yeah, that too.
Okay.
Too many people trying to be in control of everything.
Okay. So how do you think that will cause negative behaviors in children? If someone is fighting all the time or if someone is arguing all the time,
They feel like that's the way of life. They feel like that's how it goes.
that's right, how to cope with
Yeah.
stress and how to handle conflict, basically, is to be aggressive. So do you think there are a lot of children who are having negative behaviors that are experiencing domestic violence in their household and they're being aggressive because they're seeing that aggressive behavior in their household?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What are some other negative family conditions?
Family values,
Family values? Explain that.
like what the family believe in as far as culture and religion and stuff like that.
Right. Because suppose you've been raised a certain way, you have certain beliefs, and you expect your children to have those certain beliefs as well. But then you have this one child that wants to do his or her own thing. That's going to cause a conflict with the parents and with that child. So, do you think that child is going to misbehave and try to have it his or her way?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Alcohol.
Smoking.
Drinking.
Exactly. Okay, how can those all be negative family dynamics? How can that have a negative impact on bonding with your other family members?
It'll basically your addiction will become more important than your family.
That's true. If you become addicted to drugs or alcohol, it can cause you to lose focus of what's important. And basically, alcohol or drugs, that will be your goal. That would be your daily goal, is to get drunk or to get high, to get that next drink or to get that next fix. And your family is lost or left behind because your time and your focus is so much on a negative condition. And so children will watch that and they'll start looking for attention and love in other places. And you may find girls who become promiscuous because they're not getting the love and attention that they need at home. That leads to single parent homes, which causes further negative family dynamics. So I mean, it's like a domino effect. One thing can cause chain reaction of negative behaviors in a family. Okay, give me some more negative family dynamics.
Molestation.
Molestation. Okay, that that is subject is something that has been kept quiet for many years, but you're finding now that more children are being taught to be open and to tell when something bad happens to them. They're being taught about good and bad touches, and that was a discussion that wasn't had in previous cultures. So now you're having in cultures that they're teaching that there are good and bad touches, and that a child has a right to tell. And men and women who violate children, they are being held accountable for violating these children, which is very important, because when you find children that have to keep that secret, keeping a secret is like somebody has control over your life, and that can cause you to behave in a way, become withdrawn, turn into alcohol, turn into drugs, turn into prostitution. So all of those can turn into negative behaviors that can lead to destructive behavior, that can lead to prison, jail, can lead to early death. So yes, that is a negative family dynamic. Okay, one more. Give me one more negative family dynamic.
Strict or soft parents.
Strict or soft parents. Now, how can strict parents be a negative family dynamic?
Required too much.
That's right. They require too much. They don't bend. They don't compromise. It's their way or no way. So, I mean, a lot of children that are in strict homes, they end up leaving home early without the education and the resources that they need to be self-sufficient, which can become a negative family condition. Okay, what about a soft parent?
Not
Ain't nobody there
because
to
they don't
guide.
care. Do what
That's
you
right.
want.
They're not being guided. They're not being getting instructions. They're not being taught how to live
Most of the
and
time,
how to focus.
most of the time they scared of the kids.
Yeah, they become scared of the kids. They want to be their children's friend, and they're afraid of losing that bond, that relationship. Why do you think some parents are soft?
because
Because their
had
parents was real
strict
strict on them.
and they feel like that'll push their kids away if they are too hard on them, because they probably will push away.
True. So it's you can see the cycle. You can see the negative behaviors, how they become a pattern through generations. But self-determination theory, that interrupts that cycle. That makes a person decide, hey, this is not how it should be. This doesn't work for me. I need to do what works for me. Okay? Let's talk about some of the behaviors that negative family dynamics cause. Have you all had any clients that have exhibited negative behaviors? They've ended up in prison or jail, or they're on drugs or alcohol, or let's talk about that.
See, alcohol and family members,
Family members.
it causes them not to be in their kids' life.
Mhm.
Drugs too. Um, Mostly it makes them turn into like anger,
Mhm.
and they don't know how to control it.
Mhm. So how do you think that if we use the self-determination theory to help this person change these negative behaviors, what would be one of the first strategies that we can use to help them realize that what they're doing is not working for them?
They would have to see it themselves.
They would have to see it themselves.
Firsthand.
Number one, they came to counseling. If you have a person that comes to counseling, they realize that something in their life is not right, or something in their life is not working for them. So it's up to you to help them dig to find out what the root of why it's not working. Why is this not working for me? And the self-determination theory, once they realize what happened in their past or what is going on right now that is causing them to choose something that does not benefit them or does not help them or harms them, then you have to help them decide, what can I do to change what I'm doing, to change the way that I'm going, to make it better for me, to make it benefit me. So, let's say, let's go to weight loss. I gave y'all 2 handouts. I want you to review those handouts, and then we're going to talk about what motivates people to lose weight most. What are some of the strategies that they can use, that we can use to motivate people to lose weight, and what helps you remain motivated once you're on that path to weight loss. Okay, I'm going to give you 5 minutes to review that, and then we'll discuss it. Okay, now take a couple of minutes to discuss among yourselves what you found interesting in the study about weight loss.
Maintaining. Once you get it off, actually get it off.
Let's see what I it causes behavior change. Mm-hmm.
Uh, satisfaction of your body.
Effortless and self-regulation.
Okay, so now let's talk about weight loss. Okay, so what is one of the number one reasons people decide to lose weight?
Yeah.
To be healthy.
To be healthy. Health reasons. How many of you have ever gone to the doctor and the doctor has given you a prognosis and said that if you lose weight,
All the time.
it will help you with this condition that you have?
Gestation. Well, I didn't have gestational diabetes, but heard of it.
Blood pressure.
Pregnancy wise, gestational diabetes.
Okay, and to hear a doctor say, you know, weight can shorten your life, that can be a good motivator, but that's external. What is something internal that will make you motivated to lose weight?
Staying alive.
That's right, the desire to live. The desire to live. And to feel better. Because obviously you've gone to the doctor because what? You don't feel good. So you want to feel better. You want to live longer. So that's direct motivation. Hey, I got to get this weight off. Okay, now tell me some of the strategies that we can use as far as gaining, losing weight and to not gain any more weight.
Exercise.
Exercise. Get active. Get out there.
Eat better.
What else?
Eat
Eat better. Change your diet. Change your lifestyle.
Cut
Okay.
out sugars.
Cut out sugars.
Tracking what you eat.
Tracking what you eat. Counting your calories. What else?
Team
Carbs.
effort.
Team effort. That's right. Get you a partner. Get you a partner to exercise with. Somebody that can, somebody that you can, that will hold you accountable for your weight loss. One thing that I found with losing weight is the reward system. If you do good and you lose weight, you reward yourself. You reward yourself with something. If you fail, then you take something away from yourself. You got to deny yourself something that you really want. And that will keep you motivated and on task. I've seen where some people have joined weight loss clubs at work, and they will put money in the pot. And every time that they miss a cheat, they will have to put a certain amount of money in the pot. And then at the end of so many days, whoever has lost the most weight get all of the money in the pot. That's motivation. But what can help you maintain your weight? What will give you that motivation that this is working?
That's the hard part. Sometimes your motivation runs out.
It runs out. But results, if you begin to see good results when you're losing weight, it more than likely it's going to help you stay on course.
But you got to be determined.
But you got to have that determination. You got to be self-determined. Nobody can make you lose weight. Nobody can make you. It's got to be a personal choice. This is what I need for myself. This is what I want for myself. This is what is going to benefit me. It's got to be a self-choice, self-determination. And so when we're teaching people to have self-determinations, we've got to find out, what are you looking for? What are the results that you want? Okay, how can we get to this? How can we get to this? Okay, you're drinking a 6-pack of beer every day. How can we get to not drinking beer every day?
Take one away each day.
Take one away. I ain't gonna say each day, because that may be hard for somebody that's been drinking a 6-pack of beer a day for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Let's give them a deadline. Okay, by the end of the month, I want you to be drinking 5 beers a day. And by the end of the next 30 days, I want you to be drinking 4 beers a day. The next 30 days, I want you to be drinking 3 beers a day. Give them goals. In self-determination, people have to have goals that they have set for themselves and stay on course with those goals. They got to be held accountable for staying on course with those goals that they set for themselves. So when we're teaching our clients about having self-determination, number one, they need to acknowledge where they are. Number two, they need to acknowledge the part they have played in getting themselves to where they are. Number three, they need to acknowledge, what is it gonna take for me to get from where I am to where I want to go. Number 4, when do I start? You can't keep letting them put it off. You got to give them goals, set deadlines. Okay, by this time we want to be here. By this time we want to be here. And, don't come down on them if they fail at reaching a goal, but let them know, hold them accountable. Hold them accountable for not meeting that goal. And take something, you got to take something away from yourself. Like the person with the bill, if they come in and they tripped up and they messed around and drunk 5 beers a day when they were supposed to be drinking 4 beers, they can't have any beer for a whole day. You got to let them set goals. You got to reward them and say, okay, you did well. You did well. Now, we're not going to reward them and let them drink more beer, of course, but we're going to find a way to reward them and let them do something that makes them feel good about themselves. Okay? So do we have any questions about self-determination? Do you have any questions about self-determination?
She told me how to maintain it. You gotta find whatever that spark is within yourself.
Right. What motivates you? What motivates you? What motivates you?
Like if you would motivate you.
Yeah, what motivates you?
Not having a big stomach.
Not having a big stomach. So you're not happy with having a big stomach? Okay, so tell me, how did you get to having a big stomach?
I'm gonna say
Eating got you to having a big stomach. Okay, so what is the first step in not having a big stomach?
slow down on eating.
Slow down on eating, cutting back, and that's all it is. It's a process. Self-determination theory is a process from getting a person from doing something negative to doing something positive. That's all it is, and it takes steps. Okay? For the next class, I want everybody to go out, think about something where you are that you're not happy with where you are, how you got there, and what's the first step in getting from that place to where you want to be. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you for sharing in with this class today, and have a good night.